Hello, my coven. Sick and tired here. Today we are reading a viewer submission story. And this one, oh my gosh, it is a good one. I know that sounds mean, like,
excuse me, that's a good one? Somebody sharing the horrors of their life?
Trust me, it's just, you're gonna be on the edge of your seat reading this one. My jaw was on the floor when I was done reading this. On a side note, I did want to just say, after my last video, the crazy Twitter video where I said I wasn't doing Twitter anymore, a lot of you did not like that and said, no, do Twitter, do Twitter. If you guys want me to keep doing Twitter, I will, but it's not going to be like every week like I was before. It'll probably just be whenever I have enough to do a video for it. We'll see, okay? I don't know. And also, touching on the members only thing again, when I asked about that yesterday, you guys are all very supportive and think that I should do it. I'm going to try to figure it out. There's a lot to it. Making stickers, I have to find someone to make them. Can I like design my own stickers? Can we have like witches and warlock stickers? That'd be pretty amazing actually. So it's a lot to think about, but because you guys were so supportive, I think that I will do it. If you guys want to give me any ideas for content that should be members only, because stuff like this, your guys' submissions or any videos that I feel like could help somebody, give them advice or make them feel less alone or anything, I will never ever put that behind a paywall. I just am not gonna do it. The stuff that I will do for members only is gonna be stuff that if you can't sign up, you're not gonna miss out on anything, if that makes sense. I'm not gonna do like special things and leave you guys out that can't sign up for being part of the club, I guess. Is that the coven? I will figure it out, but thank you guys for your support. Moving forward, we will figure it out together and grow together. Okay, so I have my coffee in my brand new cute little pink mermaid cup that I got. Sit back, get comfortable. This one is okay, it's a lot, and there is more if you want. With printouts I did from her computer after she passed because I needed proof to myself that it all really happened. I mean, who expects their mother to become their enemy? So that might sound a little weird. You're coming in like, whoa, 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 that sounds like we're halfway through. There was a paragraph before this, but it was just her explaining they wanted to be anonymous. It was a little bit more explaining some of the stuff, and I just left that out for those reasons to keep them anonymous. My mom raised me mostly on her own, she will say, but she always had a guy around. One she would belittle to their face or behind their back. I learned men were kind of useless and disposable. When she married my stepdad, she pretended to be interested in all of the same things, but then resented him because he had different interests than her. She cheated on him for at least 8 years with someone she worked with who was also married. That's great. I have a personal experience of that too, because my mom actually cheated on my dad, my stepdad. It was devastating for the family. And guess where she came in the middle of the night without any warning? Yep. She told me about it when I was 22. Like, why did I need to know? And of course, had all these reasons to justify herself. Yes, I don't mean to interrupt again, but I do want to just say that if you have ever been put in the middle of two parents that are going through something like this, that was wrong of your parent. Like, my mom did the same thing to me when she had an affair. She put me in between, me and my dad. She put all of us in between. It was almost like the family was versus each other. Me and my middle sister, I feel like we're the most grounded. You know, I told her, like, I didn't ask for her to come here, but she just showed up and I don't know what to do. And she was like, you know, this is their issues. I can't even believe that, like, it would put us all in the middle and now everybody's fighting. So if your parents do that, that's a shit move. We've moved all past it. Everybody's okay now, but I feel like it left a really ugly stain in our family that we kind of have to dance around it. She divorced my dad and got a new boyfriend. She had apparently been seeing him also. Oh, wow. That she immediately put above everything and everyone else. She even missed my wedding dress shopping because she had a lunch date planned with him. Wow. Then told everyone I made the plan for that day so that she couldn't make it. My whole life, she had made me her partner in crime. A little mini her. She would commiserate with me at all ages about men, her sex drive, family members, and would even talk shit to me about everyone. People who thought she was their best and closest friend. She would talk absolute shit about them the second we got in the car or they left. This could have been me growing up. My mom, starting from like the age of, I want to say 15, because that was when she got me drunk. Like she bought me a bottle of white Zinfandel, and I thought it was so cool because I'm 15. Of course I think it's cool. My mom's letting me drink. She was talking to me, a minor, about her sex life with her husband. She's talking talking about the performance, his size, like all that. I'm not joking. I grew up thinking that that was normal. And I remember when I started working and I said something to someone and they were like, whoa, your mom talks to you about that kind of stuff? I was like, yeah. She's like, oh no, I would never talk to my kids about my sex life. Now that I'm older too and married, like, oh my God, I can't imagine ever talking to my daughter. It's so gross. My mom's fucked up, man. She really is. And yeah, my mom talks shit about everybody too. She would talk shit about my sisters. And you best believe I tell them everything she says. Yes, I was always there because she brought me everywhere to be her audience. So she could show me off, but really telling people what a great job she did. So I could shit talk with her later. Whenever anything big was happening in my life, she always said,
oh yes, that happened to me too. This is how it'll affect you because it's how it affected me and we are the same.
She would tell me that at a certain age, something was going to happen to me because it happened to her, or that if I ate certain things, I will get fat because it's what happens to her, etc. If I was ever sick, I was faking. When I tried killing myself, I was lying. When I would remember something, it didn't happen that way. Well, back to the new boyfriend. She ended up marrying him and putting him right in my life, even though she cheated on my dad with him. Let's all keep in mind that she was still seeing the married man during this time decades later. What? So she treated this husband like a child and said insulting things to him and about him. He was diagnosed with Parkinson's about 5 years into their marriage, and she on the same day found out she had glaucoma. So now she got to be a martyr and be his caregiver while telling people how horrible he was, how useless, blah blah, but in a way that made it sound like she was just making jokes-ish. It was horrible to watch, and often my partner and I would leave their place early because we couldn't stand to listen to her talk to him like a child. All this time, I didn't realize I had a narc mom. My entire personality was an extension of her, and I didn't even know it. Yes, a lot of us don't. I've said many times I didn't start to realize what a narcissist my mom was until I'd say probably like 5 years ago. It all came to a head when I was about 35 or 40. She had been going a couple times a year on these girl trips with ex-colleagues and saying one of them would often use her points to pay for mom's trip. She also developed growths on her brain that she would have to travel overnight to see specialists. Remember that one for later. Everyone we knew was always,
oh, your poor mom needs this break, taking care of Bill and herself. She is such an amazing woman.
We both knew these same women. So one day I messaged one of them and said that I love Mexico and to let me know next time they go, as I would love to come along. She made a vague answer and kind of didn't get back to me, which was weird because we were close. One day I was bartending at the Legion and everyone had started the last couple trips she took to comment more about how she was away a lot and less about how amazing she was. Also, any friends she made became her best friend right away. But if they did one thing she didn't like or made an observation she didn't want, she would totally drop them instantly. Not even look at them when in the same group. Even say cryptic things when asked about it, so people were never sure if it was the other person's fault. One of our mutual friends came up to me and half-jokingly said,
geez, she is gone again? What, is she having an affair?
oh, well.
Woo, the tongues are gonna be wagging in church on Sunday.
And I froze. Now this is a person who is no nonsense and such a good person. So she froze when she saw my face.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. I love you.
Was all she said, and my mind was already racing. I messaged mom to ask how her trip was going. She said fine and gave some details. I messaged the woman she was supposed to be there with and am informed that she hadn't spoken to her in years. What is happening? I message her and tell her what they said. Asked if she was there with L, the same married man as before, and she said to not ask questions I don't want answers to. I said I did want the answer, and she pretended I didn't say anything and talked about the beach, etc. Now about a month or two before this, I started not participating in her shit talk sessions and would offer positive input in the convo instead, which had started to piss her off, and I had started defending her new husband in public when she would shit talk him. So now it starts for real. The switch flips. She got back from the trip and immediately iced me out and started doing damage control. The problem was I had no intention of putting her on blast because I'm not a horrible person. I didn't want to hurt her new husband, and it wasn't my business anyway. I had a conversation with her and straight up told her that I just wanted her to stop lying to me. I wasn't going to tell anyone, but I wanted the truth. She sat there with a blank, polite stare and nodded and said, until I was done. Then she said,
okay, if you are done lecturing me, I have things to go do. Thank you for coming over.
like I was a stranger, so I left. Anytime after that, when we were in public together, she would straight up ignore me, so much so that people would comment about it. it. I would just say nothing was wrong, but apparently she was saying other things. Well, I mean, if she spent her whole life shit talking other people to you, I guarantee you she's shit talking you now to other people. Friends of ours started coming up to me in town and saying I should just stop fighting with my mom or that I should act like an adult. I was so confused, but I still didn't tell any of them a thing. She started keeping me from seeing her husband. She had me taking him twice a week on errands and telling him I was trying to get money from her and him, and that she was concerned because I was becoming a stranger. Note, whenever I was with him without her around, his symptoms were less severe. Also, he asked me a few times whether she was having an affair, and I would just say that is something he should talk to her about. Oh, imagine how uncomfortable. So after a couple of months of this freeze, I sent her an email. Basically, I told her that I understand she is in disaster control mode, but that she doesn't have to worry because I would never tell her business. I told her I love her and will be here when she is ready to talk. Well, she sends back an email saying,
Can't put toothpaste back in the tube.
that she isn't even concerned with whatever I am doing in my life, that she isn't doing damage control because there is nothing to fix, and that I am no longer her daughter. I saved that email. So, okay, very good. From the center of my universe to enemy in 6 months. So she goes to visit my brother for her birthday. All of this time, I had been telling him what was going on, so he knew my side. Well, when she got there, she tried to tell him all of these things I had apparently done and how I verbally attacked her. He just listened and nodded and called me later and told me, all funny and crazy. Oh, crazy mom. Ha ha, right? Well, she decides to change her will while she is there to make him sole heir and take me right out. Oh my gosh. She did it on her birthday. Then she went to have a nap and died. What? She just died? Yep. Oh, dead. So I have to take care of her funeral and effects because I am in the same town as her. And my brother doesn't care if a paper says he is executor because mom was an effing loon. And my brother deals with her body. Because nobody witnessed her death, there is an autopsy. I am in my town dealing with everyone's grief and my confused feelings, all the while hearing how amazing she was. What a good friend, blah, blah. From the same people she talked shit about every day. One of her friends she encouraged to move to our town while complaining to me about her, and when she moved to our town, mom would avoid her and lie and make me go visit her. All the while my mom was telling her how horrible I was being, and then telling me how annoying it was having her in the same town. So I get through the funeral, people telling my brother that my mom didn't want me to have anything, that I had been being horrible to her, etc., and I have to go through her stuff. I find messages and emails with all the different stories she had told everyone about me. Oh boy, what did they say? People that I had been friends with that had dropped me recently for no reason. There were stories that she had butchered to fit her narrative, and even where she had told our mutual friends not to respond to my messages about Mexico because I was mad at her for not lending me money. Never happened. She actually had a gambling problem. Jeez, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. And trying to get free trips from our friends. I only told a select few people the truth, mostly female aunts and cousins she had put distance between because they were family and deserved the truth. To this day, most of our friends think she was a saint and a perfect friend and wife. Her husband with Parkinson's moved in with his kids and was told by the doctor that his symptoms had gotten so bad because of the stress she caused him. He is doing much better. Oh wow. My brother called me later and asked if he could send me something to look at. It was her autopsy. He asked if I saw what he saw. Yep, nothing. No tumors, no glaucoma, no epilepsy she said she had. Perfect health, except her clogged heart. I still think she died from all the negativity. It took me a year to leave the house. I didn't know who I was. Also, was I mad, relieved, sad? How do I heal? Well, it's been 8 years since she died, and although I now know about narcs, it is still a daily struggle with my emotional responses I learned from having a narc mom. And I have to say thank you to you for this channel. It has helped me see I am not alone or to blame, and my memories are valid. This may have been a bit confusing. Sorry for that. There's definitely more if you ever want to know. Thanks again. There's more? I mean, that is insane. Your mom was cheating on your dad with a married man and another married man? Is that what I'm getting right? And then was lying to everybody that you were a terrible daughter, told them don't invite her to the Mexico trip. What does that to their daughter? That's terrible. It reminds me of people that, like, if you say you're sick, like, oh, I don't feel good, all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, I think I'm dying. Like, they always have to like one up you when it comes to that. It almost feels like that's what was going on with was it your stepdad, that he had Parkinson's? So, oh, well, he has Parkinson's. Well, I have glaucoma and I have masses in my brain and epilepsy. And it's like, what are you doing? For attention? More sympathy? That is wild. And this part here at the end where you're talking about how you're confused about your feelings. We actually just had a video on that about people whose bad parents pass away and they're very lost and confused about their feelings. I just say, let your feelings be what they are. If you don't mourn, if you don't grieve, then you don't feel bad about it. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's okay to be confused. It's okay to be relieved. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel whatever you are feeling, and you take the time to feel those things for yourself. And if you feel nothing, don't beat yourself up about it. Well, thank you so much for sending that in. I was, like I said, I was on the edge of my seat when I was reading this. I could not believe when I got to the end that your mom, not sick at all of her friends were saying how bad she talked about. Insane. I hope that you are doing so much better. If you would like to update us so we can just know how you're doing mentally, I know everybody would love to hear from you. So that's it, guys. Thank you again to all of you that send in your submissions. I love you guys so much. Until next time, I hope that your symptoms are low. I hope your magic is strong. Bye, babes.